kids, welcome to Terry on Tuesday. Long time no see, as I've been busy up to the eyeballs, literally with work and all sorts of other stuff to do. And today, being Saturday afternoon, I feel a bit, I don't want to say the dreaded C word, but sore throat, bit of a temperature, a bit achy all over. Still got my sense of taste and smell, but mind you, I was out last night in a local festival and getting rained on. I had a raincoat and stuff, but we were standing around in the rain for a couple of hours drinking beer. So, you know, there was that. Anyway, like I say, it has been a long time, been a couple of weeks at least, and I thought while I'm doing Marvin and stuff, I don't want to do another Marvin video for a while. We're nearly there with him actually, so I think the next video will be a finished try on with the suit if possible, if I can get someone to help me. But I thought I would do a quick show and tell of my version 3 Captain Jack Sparrow costume. Now, a couple of things. When I decided to get a new Jack Sparrow costume, it's a very weird situation actually. I haven't done Jack Sparrow for 2 years now. Literally 2 years, about this week was my last gig. And obviously it was doing my head in. It was doing my head in 4 years before I quit. So it was a really cathartic relief to actually sell the entire suit. And weirdly enough, the only things I had left from the suit up until about a month ago was the gun, which was falling apart, and the long coat, which wasn't screen accurate, but it was okay. And somebody messaged me out of the blue and said, have you got any pieces of your costume left? And I said, I've got this gun and coat. And even while I was selling it, I was thinking of redoing the costume. So you'd think I'd keep hold of the gun and the suit, right? The gun and the coat. But no, I thought, no, clear the decks. That's a good nautical term. Clear the decks and just get shot of everything and then start literally from scratch. So that's what I'm doing. So I've made sure that I'm not breaking the bank. Couple of things. I'm making sure that everything I get is as cheap as possible, right? Not so much nasty, but cheap, as in I'm not paying, you know, I used to pay fortunes. My last costume, picture here, looks like a bag of mess, and as it's supposed to, and that cost somewhere in the region of 1,500 quid. That's what you're seeing there, but if you count the previous set of boots and the previous wig and the previous belts and the previous baldric and all these other things, I mean, you're talking about $2,000, right? I'm not going to spend that much. Okay, so why am I deciding to do Jack Sparrow all of a sudden? Right, well, a couple of things. One, I have a Stormtrooper suit. It's been in progress for about 5 years. I'm a little bit Star Wars'd out. I'm enjoying Obi-Wan Kenobi, I'm enjoying, you know, the Mandalorian and that, but Stormtrooper thing, while it's an awesome costume, you can put it on and you catch yourself in the mirror and you think, yeah, I look cool in this. Stormtroopers are a joke. They're as much of a joke now as Thor is. Basically, it's the whole, you know, they're weak, they get slapped about, they miss their targets, all that stuff. And although I can appreciate the humour in that, and the fact that they have to be bad shots, otherwise there would be no story, because the heroes wouldn't get away. They'd just get shot and that would be the end of it. But it's very tiresome. You know, whenever you go out in a Stormtrooper suit, there's going to be 5 or 6 people come up to you like they're the most original people in the world, going, yeah, aren't you a little short for a Stormtrooper? Or they're actually going to get the line wrong and say, you're a bit short, trooper. I've had that said to me in the past. And the whole, you know, you can't shoot straight, you can't miss. It's just, you know, it's just ridiculous. It's like if you had a Jar Jar Binks costume, you'd soon stop wearing it because of all the grief you get. So while it looks cool, I can't be arsed. Not for a while. Anyway. And people have said to me, right, of all the people that have messaged me about Jack Sparrow and asked me about Jack Sparrow, 99.999% have said, oh, awesome, bring him back, can't wait, right? Which is great. Nice to know I'm doing something right for a change. Now, there's a small percentage of people who have said, why? you said you weren't doing him anymore. Why? And I'm like, well, when I was 14, I said I'd never wear a woolly jumper again. I've got the right to change my mind, right? And also, you know, it's no skin off anyone's nose. I'm doing it because I feel like it. And I'm also doing it this time as a fun thing. So again, it'll be the best costume I can get for the lowest money. So it'll be cheap and cheerful. And I'm not going to go out, you know, constantly doing birthday parties and play centres and weddings and all sorts of stuff like I did before, because that was really driving me nuts. I just want a costume that I know I've got in a suitcase that hasn't cost me an arm and a leg, that I can stick on for a convention or a birthday party, or, you know, not a hired out birthday party, for a friend's birthday party, or a house party, or like the festival yesterday, Glaston Selfie. That's a charity thing and run by friends of mine. So I would turn up free of charge and just spread a little happiness. Okay, so that's why I'm doing that. So with all the waffling out the way, what have I got? Okay, so the first thing, I won't do this in the order I got them, I can't remember. Rings. As usual, I'm doing the Jack Sparrow from the second film, Dead Man's Chest, because that's my favourite movie. So he's got 4 rings. Here I have 3. These are the Master Replicas, sort of Disney official ones. So that's called the button ring. It's like a Spanish, it's got a flower on it. They sometimes call it the flower ring, but it's the button ring. So there's that. Then there's the stolen ring, which apparently is based on a real ring that Johnny Depp actually had, that got nicked. So he's now wearing the prop one from the film, but this is called the stolen ring anyway. Then the third one, which is probably my favourite one, is the one that goes on your thumb, and that's the dragon ring. And that's got the sort of, it's supposed to be jade. It's a horrible green, that is. It's not a very jadey colour. And I think that the ring itself should be gold, but this is more silver. Still, I'm not going to bother painting it. These are decent enough rings. I do have one missing, which goes on me index finger, and that's the one with the green stone and the little skulls. These are not cheap, but I managed to get all 3 in an eBay auction for about 50 quid. So yeah, you normally get these for between 10 and 20 quid. They're getting harder to get anymore because they don't make them. So I'm quite fortunate that I managed to find these. I still get the 4th one to find. And the 4th one, the one with the green stone, is tricky because every time I get, well, for a start, I've never seen the Master Replicas. I've never seen the Master Replicas version of that final ring, picture here. But every time I've had one of those green stone ones, I've had to cut the ring to fit on my finger because they seem to make them too small, whereas these fit perfectly. Nice and roomy. Anyway, the second thing I got was the bandana. Another hard thing to get. This is the right size. I found bandanas online that are about this big, right? And that's half the size it needs to be. This is actually 100 centimeters, so it's a meter square, right? So you've got, look. Yes, it is ridiculously thin, you can see me, but that's the size it's supposed to be. And let's move the camera down a tad. There we go. And so generally what I do, this probably won't work with a 50 centimeter square thing. So you fold it in sort of into a triangle like that. Then people do it different ways, but I'll do it this way. Bring that point down to there. Bring that over again like that. Then you sort of gather it all together like this. And then when you bang it on your head, so you know you can't see me now, but when you bang it on your head, and you sort of pull it all together like this, can you see it? There should be like a V of the pattern goes over one eye. Goes over the left or the right eye, I can't remember, but basically it's that. This is rather dark. The ones I used to have were very bright red, and even then I let it bleach in the sun. I took it to Tunisia, in fact, to bleach so it was almost an orangey colour, as befits the film. So I might stick this out in the sun, if we ever get any sun, because it's hammering down outside. But again, tricky to find one of these cheaply, but I managed to find one for under a tenner. Last one in stock, apparently. So that's a very important thing. You can't really fake it. Next, let's get this out of the way. Round the wrists, Jack Sparrow has on this wrist a piece of white lace, which is his trophy lace from some lady, and round the left wrist, the right wrist, is this kind of frayed woolen thing, which goes around there like twice, and in it is some dots and dashes of wool, like coloured wool in pink and yellow, etc. I did have the original, the accurate material, which was very coarse and very a bit plasticky. I didn't like it. So this is just an old blanket I found, which has got a nice weave in it, you see, and it frays nicely, and I've got loads left over. So that will be my new wrist wrap. Once I get some, I'm going to sew some lengths of pink and beige and white wool into there to make it look a bit more. I'll put a picture there, you see the idea. Right, so other bits of material that cost an absolute fortune is the sash, picture here. The red and white striped sash. Very hard to get hold of. When the film first came out, people were wearing, they were going to IKEA and buying a red and white stripy curtain, which is no longer in stock, and it's like rocking horse poo to get hold of, and they're very expensive on eBay, and they're still not screen accurate. I finally had, my second sash, I went to London and bought some ticking material, which is like upholstery stuff, it was white and it had red stripes, and I sewed that together into an 11-foot strip, and it was really nice. And I gave that to my friend Richard, who also does Jack Sparrow over in Bristol, and I upgraded to a screen accurate one. Now the screen accurate one was almost as thin as this, and it was 11 inches wide by 11 feet long, which was plenty, and it looked really nice, and it cost $65 plus shipping plus taxes. No more of that. I washed my hands of this weirdness, as Jack used to say. So I looked around everywhere, started going through fabric shops online, and I found a fabric shop that does ticking material again, and this is it. Now, it's not 100% screen accurate. It's a nice kind of browny colour with some, this is all printed, it's not woven, it's printed. Because as you can see on the other side, it's bright white. But my screen accurate sash was white on the other side as well. So what I'm going to do, because this is a kind of cotton, it's like a tea towel. Yeah, it's quite nice actually. So what I'm going to do is cut this into 5 strips of about 10 inches, 11 inches wide, sew them end to end. I'll only need 4 strips I think for 11 foot, and then bung this into a bowl of boiling hot water with about 10 tea bags in it, and basically let it stew overnight. Pull it out and it will be a kind of yellowy tea colour. That's tea dyeing it's called. So, you know, and that should look good. I think this will be fine. It's as accurate as I want it to be. Like I said, I don't want to go crazy, don't want to break the bank. I'm really happy with that. It looks like a nice bit of material. And this entire, it's a metre length by 54 inches long. It's enough to do about 12 or 13 feet of sash. £9.95, kids. Screw paying $65 plus shipping and everything. That'll do. That will do fine. Okay, next thing. While we're cutting corners, you may have seen on Instagram a couple of weeks ago, I was trying on a pair of trousers. These are ladies' trousers. They're sort of 3/4 length culottes or whatever you want to call them. They are ladies, because I'm a lady. They're made of linen, and they're size 16 because I'm fat. That's another thing, gotta hit the diet. And all I did was take off I unpicked the pockets on the back, but the zip and everything else will be covered by the sash and the belts. I've never had a proper pair of pirate breeches, and I'll tell you for why. Firstly, proper pirate breeches cost a fortune. You go on Etsy or somewhere, you can pay anything from 60 quid up to 200, 300 pounds. For a pair of, you end up seeing about that much. That's all covered by sashes and belts. The bottom half's covered by boots. You're going to see about that much of your thigh. There's no point. Secondly, proper breeches don't have a fly to go wee-wees. Proper breeches will have a flap here, 3 buttons, which will be completely hidden by your belts and your sash, and it's very hard to take off when you need to go wee-wees. Why not just have a fly? So, how much did these expensive linen ladies' culottes cost me? Well, I got them from a charity shop. Hello. Got them from a charity shop. Do love a charity shop. Don't care what anyone says. And they were £2. But, on the day I went there, they were having a sale. So, 50% off, £1. A princely sum of £1. Plus, these are a kind of, not burgundy, but a very sort of deep brown, which kind of doesn't match Dead Man's Chest as a movie. I think it kind of matches the first movie, Curse of the Black Pearl. But I do have a grey pair of chinos that I used to use as Jack Sparrow, as sort of backup emergency trews. So I could use them, because I think it's more of a grey in Dead Man's Chest. Okay, so with that bargain, what have we got left? The penultimate thing, the white shirt, the poet's shirt, or whatever you want to call it. It's got a bit of a V-neck that goes down to here. You'll notice there's no strings across here. Some of the fancy dress costume shops will do strings across here, and there is supposed to be a string that goes underneath the collar all the way down here, both sides. But that's it's 60% polyester, 40% Baumwolle, which is probably wool. It's called a resistance shirt. It's extra large. I wanted something extra baggy because the sleeves are supposed to be baggy. And again, this is going to be thrown into a bowl full of hot tea, so it goes filthy and yellowish over a long time. This was a bit more expensive. I think it cost me about £45. It's shocking. If anyone out there is a dab hand with a sewing machine, start making pirate stuff. You'll make a fortune. I kid you not. By the way, if you are a dab hand with a sewing machine, I'll have a lot of work for you. There's that needs doing. There's a waistcoat that needs doing, because I'm not paying hundreds of pounds for waistcoats and shirts anymore. But that's about 40 odd quid. I can't remember where I got it. It may have been a bespoke LARPing, live action roleplay website that does a very basic Renaissance, it says Renaissance shirt there, poet shirt, whatever you want to call it. You type in Jack Sparrow shirt and suddenly the price goes up by about an order of magnitude or two. So there's that. And I did say the penultimate thing, but before I get to the ultimate thing, here's a couple of other things. I've started getting some bits together for the wig. I ended up buying this. This is I forget what it's called. It's something like, it's an Indian coin, you see there. I was told that this was the one that Jack Sparrow wears on his forehead, but it looks too small compared to the one I used to have. It looks too small, so I'm going to I've tied it to a piece of leather, drilled a hole in it, and that's going to be on the wig somewhere. I'm not going to be super accurate with the things. A friend of mine gave me this little piratey charm, which is basically a ship's wheel, which is quite nice. So that's going on there. And I've got a spare bit of leather there, always comes in handy. And for the main string of beads, I'm going to buy the coin, etc., that goes at the bottom. But again, like my last Jack Sparrow thing, I'm going to start making the beads out of milliput, which is really easy to do. And once they're painted, they look screen accurate. Nobody gives a damn. So that's what I'm doing. I do have some extra coins here. What's that? That looks very Russian to me. I don't even know what it is. It's some kind of Russian coin. That might go on there. Another Indian coin, 50 paisas, I think it's called. I've started to try and drill a hole in that sucker. So that will go on somewhere. And that is even a 1 cent coin from the States. Might hammer the crap out of that so it doesn't look too modern. And stick that on the wig too. So that's what I'm up to with that. Now the final crowning glory. The final piece arrived today. It's not the final piece, but it's the final piece of this current haul of pirate stuff. Boots! Boots, the bane of any cosplayer's life. Boots are ridiculously expensive. No matter what costume you're doing, boots you'll always end up paying a fortune, unless you can cannibalize boots. Now my last pair of Jack Sparrow boots, picture here, they were brown leathery suede, square-toed, as they're supposed to be, ankle boots that I gave to my friend Kit, who runs a thing called Hero Workshops International, does a load of leather work, and he basically extended them and put the big turnover at the top of the boots. So in total, those boots cost me 100 quid, which is still a quarter of the cost of the $400 boots that you can get from the website that does the actual screen accurate boots. And I ain't doing screen accurate, as I told you. I'm not spending a fortune this time. So I went on the Jack Sparrow page on Facebook, and that's thunder. It's sunny outside, but it's still thunder. We're going to get flooded, aren't we? Anyway, no, so I went on the Jack Sparrow page on Facebook and I said, look guys, anybody out there, can you give me links to cheap and cheerful Jack Sparrow stuff? I don't want to spend a fortune this time, because a lot of guys are obviously very keen to have super screen accurate, which is fine. But like I said, this is going to be for fun. So I took a risk. I took a risk and bought some boots from a website. It's according to that, it's fun.com. So I think it's like a fancy dress website, basically, Halloween costumes and that kind of malarkey. And they arrived today. Nicely individually wrapped. Weird thing about these is quite scary, is they come in like small, medium and large. Not like your shoe size, you know what I mean? So how do I take this off? Come on, open that. It's not having it. There we go. So I went for large because I have size 9.5 feet. And look what we've got. That, my friends, is very nice. I'm going to sneeze. Where was I? Anyway, yeah, that is very nice, right? A couple of things. What I wanted. Better colour than my last boots. These are a nice sort of sandy suede colour. It is a completely faux suede. It's not leather in any way at all. There's a rubber sole, but square toe. Look at the square toe. Very flat on the end, very square, as you can see there, as they're supposed to be. Nice colour. They don't have any horrid zips up the sides or up the back. And they're the right height. I'm not sure about this sticky outy bit and the fact that they're split. I think it should be joined together, but I could easily sew that together if I wanted. But these are really nice. I have tried them on earlier, and again, these just come as size large, but I think these are about a size 11, so they're pretty roomy like my last boots. But I think once you've got a bit of like an insole in there for extra spongy, it'll be fine. I am wondering about this material. If this ends up getting wet, it'll get heavy and it'll start, you know, doing that. It's not the most, you know, stiff or, you know, sturdy material, but it's very nice. What's it saying here? Men's, OMS, made in China, large. That's it. Yeah, so there's no leather involved, but they're a lovely colour, and I'm more than happy with these. Seriously, more than happy. I thought I was going to have to get a pair of really awful brown boots and make some fake buckets to go over the top, but no, I'm very happy with these. I may have to sew something inside to keep them a bit more upright, a bit more stiff, whatever, to stop them sliding down, but I'll tell you what, compared to some boots that I've seen... Oh yeah, how much do they cost, you may ask? See, my nose is running now from sneezing. Maybe it is COVID, I don't know. So, how much did they cost? These cost me in total, I think they were something like 69 quid, which sounds like a lot. I wouldn't pay that for a pair of trainers, but as opposed to $400 plus shipping plus taxes, these will do fine. Under 100 quid. I think it cost me about 70 quid in total with shipping and stuff, but very happy with these. They're nice, they're a lovely colour. That's the colour I wanted from the beginning. Very accurate to Dead Man's Chest, and yeah, I'm happy. So, boots, shirt, sash, bandana, rings, trousers, wrist wrap. That's what we got so far. There we go. So, sorry for the sneezing and the sniffing now. Great. Paracetamol time, methinks. That's... Oh, I'm putting shoes on the table. I'm not supposed to be superstitious, but isn't that bad luck? Like I can get any more bad luck. So yeah, sorry this has been a long waffly video, but it'll be a while before I do another one. Like I say, I'm hoping to do a Marvin one next, showing the entire suit on. That'll be fun. But that's where I am with Jack Sparrow. Again, if you've just joined us, why am I doing it? Because I wanna, because it was fun, and it'll give me a reason to try and hit the diet and exercise a bit more, to lose a little bit of the, you can't see the belly, and just to have fun with it this time, just to enjoy it for what it is, have the freedom to take the costume off when I've had enough of it, etc, etc. Next thing I'm probably going to buy is either the belts or the belt buckles, or the wig. Last time I bought a second-hand wig, which I had for almost 10 years, picture here, and that was great, and that was over 250 quid. So I'm going to make a wig. That should be fun. I'll do a video on that. I'll try and make my own wig for a fraction of the price of a normal one. I've seen wigs on Etsy at over like $1,000. Guys, really? It's cheaper to grow your own dreadlocks. No, I'm going to make a wig, so that'll be interesting. Right, that's enough. I think I need to overdose on paracetamols and ibuprofen and more coffee, and I will see you with a Marvin video very soon. Take care now, and bye-bye.